Hi guys, my name is Anna and I decided to do my service learning at North Valleys High School. I went to school at North Valleys almost 2 years ago. I graduated in 2018. North Valleys is different from a lot of other schools, and that's why I chose to go back there instead of trying something different. There's a lot of diversity, and that kind of diversity can teach a lot of valuable lessons about handling tough situations that you may not see every day in typical schools. I observed Danielle Stallworth's classroom. Miss Stallworth was my track coach in high school, and I spent more time in her classroom than any other class. She really inspired me to look at education as a career path, and I was on the fence about it until I started coaching. And when I started coaching, I realized how rewarding education can be and how exciting it can be being with your kids every day and forming connections and bonds with them and learning about who they are. So education is really important to me, and I am so excited to be finally doing something that I'm passionate about. Here's some lessons that I learned being back in my old coach's classroom. All right guys, we're here. I'm so excited. The most important thing I learned hands down was to create bonds with students. I noticed in Ms. Stallworth's classroom that she had a bond with each and every student. She knew them well. She had a solid relationship with them. And because of that, they felt really comfortable talking in her class, communicating with her, asking questions, participating in discussions, and they also had a lot of respect for her and her position. There wasn't a whole lot of talking during instruction, playing on phones, the typical distractions that you see in a high school classroom. Developing a bond with your students allows for them to create a mutual respect between you and them, and it really establishes some trust. If they have any problems, they feel comfortable going and talking to you, and that's really hard for a lot of students to do. Sometimes students feel like they can't talk to parents and peers and other influences in their life, and so it's really important for them to have a role model, someone that they can go to when life is getting kind of difficult and get some advice, and that can be absolutely life-altering for a student, and that is the best part of teaching. Today was a really good day. I went and did my first 3 hours at North Valleys, and it was really cool because Stallworth had such a strong bond with her kids, and you could tell that all of them just really connected with her. And I personally met a student in one of her sophomore classes that sat and talked to me for a little bit and kind of opened up to me about a lot of stuff that had been going on in her life. We kind of established a little bit of trust between each other, and she talked to me about some things that she was experiencing at home and some struggles she was having, and we looked at possible solutions for her and just ways that she could learn to handle these struggles and overcome them. And she seemed so genuinely appreciative and so happy that she just had somebody to talk to. And that's really what teaching is about. Keeping an organized room is absolutely essential for an effective classroom. I really enjoyed Miss Stallworth's classroom because she had little drawer sets set up with each set of desks that had the papers the kids needed for the day and any tools that they needed, whether that be highlighters, scissors, glue sticks, colored pencils, etc. She had it all ready for them to go. There was no getting up and moving about the class. They were all in the drawer, so the kid next to the drawer was able to just grab everything needed right out of the drawer and pass it along the line. It was really convenient, and it made it very quick so that we could move on with lessons early and not wait around for kids to get up and walk to the back of the room and grab their things and talk to everybody. And it just made the classroom run really smoothly. Another thing I noticed about her classroom that I really liked is that she had bins sitting by the door for missing assignments that kids might have missed when they were gone, or a late turn-in bin. And I really liked that because that avoids kids coming up to her after class and taking up time for them to walk to their next class, or even interrupting in the middle of class to turn in assignments or ask for assignments that they missed. They're all right in that bin, and it's really easy for students to just walk in and grab what they need and go sit down at their desk. Another really important thing I learned while observing Miss Stallworth's classroom was how effectively she used her time. It was really cool seeing the way that she had her kids take notes because it was something very different from what I'm used to. Each kid had a composition notebook, and she would pass out copies of the notes to them with fill in the blank style answers, and the kids would paste them into the notebook and fill in the blanks as they came up. And I noticed that this really allowed kids to focus less on trying to write down everything on the PowerPoint and write down everything the teacher was saying, and focus more on what was being told to them, focus more on discussions and talking with each other and asking questions, because they weren't so worried about getting things written down. Though I did enjoy that they were still writing down the really important stuff in the blanks, because personally writing down helps me remember. And so they're still getting the really essential material in their brains from writing it down, but they're also really taking in the more intricate stuff that they don't or may not have the time to write down.